Hello and welcome to OzByDrone. It's that time of the week again. I'm Greg.
Hi, everybody.
And he's John.
I'm John. Well, great to have you with us again.
Indeed, it is good to be back. Just a couple of quick things. We've got our technology worked out this week. Last week we were having a lot of fun, and I found out that our show doesn't suck enough because the vacuum cleaner is what fixed up the problems we had last week. The old iMac had a bit too much dust in it, and the temperature of the GPU was getting up there to 109 degrees. So the show's been totally sucked out, and it's going to be absolutely awesome today.
All right, got that fan in.
Got the fan in. So, John, what's happening this week for you?
Look, it's been great to be in the hangar. I've been repairing, servicing, cleaning up, catching up on stuff really around the house, and even a bit of painting. So, yeah, it's been fun actually, and I've enjoyed it. I've probably worked harder than when I had a full diary doing work. So, yeah, it's been good, and we've got a couple of things in with CASA, so we've been dealing with them. I think they're pretty busy at the moment as well in the circumstances. But other than that, it's good business as usual. And, like everyone, looking forward to going back to my favourite restaurant.
And just at that exact moment, the speed of your voice just suddenly sped up. We've got some internet-related problems today. Not this end. John's on mobile today, so apologies if there's any challenges with that during the show. A little bit later, we've got Adam in. He's going to be our guest today, the guy that likes to fly with broken propellers. We're going to have a chat to him about how he does that and why he does that. Yeah. But before we do anything, let's get into the news. Da, 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 da. I should get a news. I've got some news music somewhere here. Let's go and do that. There we go. Is that working?
Yeah, just don't let Lloyd pick it.
It didn't work. No, another time. Anyway, so our first news story today is we've got a fat detector. You heard right. Drones are being used with a fat detector. We've heard of many varied uses of drones with a wide range of sensors and detectors. In some industries, you might use a gas detector, for example. More recently, however, drones have been using a fat detector. Researchers are using this specifically to detect if whales are fat enough to breed. Let's have a look. So this is the clip that came with this. I don't know that we actually see any fatness markings on there, but this is something that came from a story out of National Geographic, and I just thought it was absolutely stunning to look at the whales, a good use of the drones, of course. But here's what I'm confused about one thing though. Let's say you know that the drone is ready to breed. What are you going to do about it? The drone is ready. The whale is ready to breed. What are you going to do about it?
That's right. Well, it's an interesting thing, thinking about the sensors, and that's the point here. More and more sensors, but it's great. Species tracking is great because you don't have to be in the water. You're probably doing, I'm guessing, for some animals, less to their environment by having some altitude and being out of their way. I'm not sure, but I know that. We're using aircraft now to track various other small species in rainforests and, tree kangaroos and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, it's just going to keep growing. And I think it is an interesting market, and it is going to be good, uninterrupted, if disturbing the environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we got a little bit of jitter with the internet there. Just wanted to say hello to Ready, Set, Drone. I can see that you've put your hand into the tip jar. Thanks for that very much, Ready, Set, Drone. Good to see you along. And also I saw our great friend, Mr. Ken Heron, the thief of bad gags. What an appropriate line for you, Ken. Anyway, let's move on to our second story. That joke came courtesy of John. We were just using these jokes in the pre-show while we were getting ready. But our second story today, new drone photos and video courtesy of the Kansas City Police Department. This was taken by Kansas City Police in Missouri, showing the construction of a new aircraft terminal at an operational airport. And I just thought it was interesting. Again, use of drones for different purposes. Here's what I found interesting. if you have a look at those shots, you can see that one upmanship, $5.16, had to add the extra cent or whatever it was above the other one. Thanks, Kelly and Ken. What's interesting here is that this is at an operational airport. Now, you can see in one of these, the parts of this clip here, they're actually doing aircraft movement on the airfield. I haven't seen any paperwork that came from the Kansas City Police Department, but I would have thought that close to the airfield. John, regulatory comment. Tell me, what do you think?
Okay, so the way they do this is you've got three types of environments when you're around an airport. You operation where you'd either be tethered or behind a building. You've got an unshielded operation, which is what this is. And then if the airport's actually open, the next one is what we call a segregated operation. So if the airport is actually, as you see, aircraft taking off and landing, and the drone is on the tower frequency and the pilot's talking to the tower, then that's called segregated. So there are different levels of it. Once the airport is non-controlled or the tower is not there, then it changes. And beautiful shots.
Yeah, some beautiful shots. I did see in one part of the clip, I did see some aircraft movement on the field. I'm just trying to remember where that was. It may have already passed it.
Well, the most exciting part about all of this is seeing aircraft move at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, just some beautiful footage from drones, and thank you. Oh, Jas Aerial, $5.17. And also, Wayne, thank you very much for yours as well. Thanks for the super chats.
It's a race. It's a race.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's leave that one there. Our third story for the day, we've got a couple more before we go to our guest. We've got a medical delivery. Now, this is nothing new. We've been looking at these kind of things before. But let's just play the clip in the background, and I'll turn the volume down so that we can talk over the top of it. Let's play that now. So this is in the Isle of Wight. We've heard a lot about medical delivery suppliers before by drone, but this is the first landing at the Isle of Wight on Tuesday, the 12th of May. So it's an unmanned aerial vehicle doing medical deliveries, obviously an inaccessible location, and their ability to go and move medical supplies back and forth, and in fact other deliveries, it's something that they've been working on for a while. So good progress in that area.
Yes, this looks like a fixed wing landing too. Check this out. Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. So what's interesting about this, guys, is it's not a small airplane. Okay, I'm with you. That's a large airplane.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to remember. Here we go.
When they get to that size, the vertical takeoff thing, gets a bit more complicated. Obviously an aircraft half that size is easier to do the VTOL stuff, but when they get real large, it's actually much easier to operate as a conventional aircraft. Look at this stuff. I'm wondering, it's probably all autonomous in many ways, with autonomous takeoff. That's being taxied manually, for sure. But
also great use of the technology. I mean, we've talked about different types of delivery services. Something like the Isle of Wight is something where it's, asking for it, it's calling out for it. It's an inaccessible location. Very useful there.
Yeah, sure. And it's it's a BVLOS operation, so the airplane can carry all it needs to have as well. Yeah, that's good. I mean, once you get with these airplanes at the moment, nice with a Pixel cube in it, you taxi the airplane manually. But once you've lined the airplane up and set the course bug for the takeoff direction, you can pretty much push the auto takeoff, and it'll do the rest in terms of fly that profile, take off and fly the profile. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up over the wires. I love it. Yeah,
let's move on to our next one. We've got
Yep.
Our next story, this one is an agriculture company, Rancio. This company is demonstrating its drone spraying equipment to sanitize a stadium. So everyone's been talking about using drones to spray. This is one company that's actually gone and done the demo. Now, I'm not a medical guy, so I don't know about the efficacy of these different spray solutions in actually preventing COVID and those kind of things. But if you had the right chemical to spray, certainly a very good delivery mechanism.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and we've got one more.
Yeah, that aircraft is available off the shelf.
I tell you what I'm going to do here just briefly for a second, John, because I think we got a bit of lag. I'll get my producer to temporarily press the disconnect button on Rendezvous and then reconnect, and hopefully that'll get rid of the lag. If anyone can't get back on, just refresh your browser if you can't get back on, but we'll see. It should be okay. Yeah, reconnect to the same session. There we go. And everyone came back except for John. There he is. He's back as well. Yeah, John's internet. He's on a mobile phone today, so we've got to bear with him a little bit. We've got one more quick story, and this one is especially for two friends who are in the background today. Bob Barker, make sure your stadiums are sprayed and neutered. Okay. We've got one more story, and this is for two of our friends here today. It's rather ironic that both of them are here. This one, Aves, is the name of a new drone. This one is designed to blend into its surroundings without drawing attention to it hovering above. The company that manufactures this is known as the Drone Bird Company. So this is actually their new model. They've been doing this for a while. They've got a number of drone birds. And obviously they're trying to blend into the surroundings, do this for surveillance purposes. Definitely working well. So they've got some thermals in there as well.
That's incredible. I wonder what the birds are going to think of it. You know, they pull up alongside and say, you know, how you going, buddy? I mean, it'd be like us walking up to a robot, you know, and having a conversation with it.
Yeah. So we got a kind of a manual assisted launch there, and that's fine.
Oh, look at that.
Did you see it kind of bounce there as it was taking off?
Or is it really actually an ornithopter? You know, because an ornithopter as flies or powers itself by actually flapping its wings. I mean, that's an incredibly complicated and inefficient thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got a prop on the tail. Yeah, cool.
So Aves is the name of the company, and I think we definitely
could 3D print that.
You probably could, but we definitely need to reach out to that company, see if they want to come on as a guest. If not here, certainly on another show. I don't know which other show that would be, but people in the audience definitely know what I'm talking about. But now, without further ado...
One that's got pigeons.
One that's got pigeons? Let's move on from that now, and we're going to go to RCwithAdam, and he's the guy that likes to fly with broken props on his drone. So welcome, Adam. How you doing?
Hey, Greg. Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, nice to have you here. We had a little clip of yours, and I only played the little beginning bit of the clip last week as a bit of a teaser. So for those that did see it, we showed some footage of you flying and then crashing your drone. You're an FPV flyer, and is crashing something you do frequently?
Yes. Sometimes I actually try to do it, of course. But yes, I do it frequently. And actually, I do it so frequently that I do have a lot of broken propellers from that.
Okay, so let's come back to the broken propellers. Let's rewind a bit. How long have you been flying, and what kind of birds do you fly?
So I have been flying about 3 or 4 years. I've been flying FPV quadcopters about 3 years now. And I fly, well, just like everybody else, I'm getting into the micro quadcopters, but mostly I tend to fly the 5-inch quadcopter, and then also airplanes, scratch-built airplanes, and that sort of thing, flight test type of stuff.
Okay. And then, like everyone who flies FPV, I mean, we've had a few people on before who say that they don't go and buy a set of new props. They go and buy bags of props.
Yeah.
Tell me about when you had this idea and how did it come about and what happened next?
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, I was just thinking, I don't even know what I was thinking, because that's how these ideas, they just hit me sometimes. But I was thinking about how, you could have a broken propeller, and if you had enough broken propellers, you could make a device like an actual propeller hub, like a full scale aircraft, multi-bladed propellers. They have a propeller hub usually that connects all of them together. So I thought, well, what if you could do the same thing with standard polycarbonate propellers? So what I did is I designed a propeller hub, and this is the first version right here, and it's basically like a triangular kind of hub. And what you can do is you can just cut off the rest of the propellers from the original propeller hub. So you're left with this right here, and then you just pop it into the hub like that. And so this is 3D printed. And I actually have more that I'm going to be testing out as well. So I'll have another video on that very soon.
So let me get this right. Your original prop, you've got your original circular hub in there. You've got, let's say, one of the parts of the prop broken, and you've got 3 others or 2 others, depending on how many you've got there. And you just cut off all bar one, and you've got one good one left. And then you use that to mount onto this new device.
Yeah, exactly. And it's still in the kind of early, design phases. I mean, just for me anyway. I know there's a company that just came out with something like this that I guess is supposed to be like the brand new kind of thing to the FPV market. And that was something else that I was considering when I was designing this. I thought, well, it could be really cool to have a compact propeller. But mostly I just designed it because it's really fun to design and 3D print stuff. And I thought, how could I reuse the propellers? And, it's certainly not very efficient. It's not the best performance propeller probably, because you're adding a lot of extra weight. But, maybe you're in a situation where you need to reuse the propellers, or you just want to try and get more out of it. I just think it's a really, really neat thing. And I'm looking forward to investigating more about 3D printing these.
Okay. And what else have you made previously? What else have you done in terms of 3D printing? Yeah, just out of interest, because it's something, I don't have a 3D printer. I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet, but I've heard of people who have. And once you start, the sky's the limit.
It is a rabbit hole. But I'll tell you, it's like probably the best decision that I made to finally get a 3D printer, because for years I've been like, oh, 3D printing is so cool. And I see all these other people doing it on YouTube, and really, if you're like me, where you love to create things and make things, and you're just constantly coming up with ideas, but it's difficult to kind of like actually fabricate something like with metal, unless you have a bunch of machinery and stuff. But with 3D printing, you can just design it and then make it. And then all of a sudden you have something that did not exist before. And so it's amazing. It's fantastic. But it does take like some technical knowledge, and it is kind of a rabbit hole, because you start learning about one thing, which leads to another thing. And then, I guess it depends on how much in the detail you want to get, but yeah, I highly recommend 3D printing for creators for sure.
Yeah. I want to ask you one more question about your actual prop hub design. So did you come up with the concept of having the props moving based on your existing, looking at some of the commercial drone products in the market, or was it an accident, or how did that bit come about?
Well, I think that, like I said, it's funny that what is it, Dalprop or Foxier just came out with the folding propellers, like it's like, whoa, a new thing, and to some extent it is, but really I hadn't even thought about that, because I know there was a video, I think it was Kebab FPV, talking about like some prototypes of that, and I think I watched the video, but I had forgotten about it. And I mean, to some extent, there's only so many ways that you can do a multi-bladed propeller hub, and fitting it just kind of makes sense to fit the original propeller hub into, in this case, on a peg, and you do get you get that folding movement out of it. And I'm investigating some other designs that might not have the folding aspect, but yeah, basically, to answer that question, it was kind of just by accident. It just kind of ended up that way to some extent.
Yeah. Is there a retaining pin on there that prevents it from extending beyond a certain point, or does it just use the forces when it's rotating to limit its final spot?
Well, that's what's really interesting about folding propellers, is that because of physics and things like that, sciencey stuff, the propeller is going to want to be flung outward, away from the motor, basically. So in terms of when it's in flight, it will just stay in the correct position. But due to how I have this one designed, as far as the folding aspect, you can only fold it so much before it hits the actual structure. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So anything else you want to share with us about what you do? So RCwithAdam, I came to hear about you from the flying with broken propellers. What else do you do? Where do you fly? What do you fly with?
My channel is about, it is small, but it is still growing, and this is what I do full time. This is all about promoting personal and educational development through flight and DIY projects, and because a lot of this stuff kind of goes hand in hand. There's a lot of overlap between the maker community and 3D printing and the RC community, and so really what I'm about is building confidence and building your skills and learning things through making stuff. And in my case, it happens to be stuff that flies. So that's what I'm all about. And pretty much on my channel, I mean, I have a lot of tutorial videos, how-to videos, mostly because getting into this hobby, there were some real hurdles that I had to overcome, and I got so frustrated. So I started making videos about how to solve these certain problems. But I'm also doing a lot of creating type videos, especially with 3D printing. So that's what I do, and it's all really a very positive mindset. And I want to encourage people to be able to create and make things and really build confidence and knowledge from that.
Okay. Sounds like a lot of fun. We've put your channel link in the chat every now and again, so people do go over and check out Adam's channel. But at this point, there's something we absolutely must do having our guest here today. It's time, ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls, it's time to play Stump the Yank.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have some fun at this time. Each and every time we've got a guest on, we have some Australian trivia. Get your Vegemite, get your Fosters, get anything else that makes you feel Australian. It's time to play Stump the Yank.
All right.
So let's just get you on screen there. We've got the four-way shot there. We've got Johnny. We've got Lloyd. Now, Lloyd is our honorary Australian. You see he's got the Australian flag behind him there. Now, obviously, we know Lloyd's not an Aussie, but he's got some Aussie friends, and we won't hold it against him. He's the quiz master, and we're going to see if you get them right, then congratulations. If you get them wrong, we're going to throw over to John, the real Aussie, to see if he knows what it is. So let's go with that.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Well, I take it you don't watch a lot of Australian videos?
I watch a lot of UAV futures and
Okay.
that sort of thing.
Yeah,
All right,
Stu's a good guy.
Yeah.
First thing, what is a billabong?
A billabong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to give him
not
some
illegal,
choices?
I'll give him some choices.
Okay.
I was going to see if he could answer it first. I'll give you some choices.
Okay.
Is it a pipe? Is it a favorite beer? Or is it a dry riverbed?
Or is it a brand of swimwear? Well, actually, yes, it is, but we're not going to use that one. What is the original term?
The original term, not what it's used for in advertising.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I know that name somewhere. So
Right.
wait, is it one of those three?
It's one of those three.
You've got to guess which one.
Okay.
pipe?
I'm gonna say
a
it's
brand of beer?
I'm gonna say it's a pipe.
Actually, no. It's a dry riverbed.
What? Why would you call a dry riverbed that?
They're Australian. Why do they call anything anything? Or a
Okay.
pond. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with John, I think your mic might be on mute there. Either that or your internet's crapping out again. One or the other.
Yeah, it's a dry riverbed, a pond inside a dry riverbed. I should have given you a little more. Okay. What's a bludger? Is it a lazy person? Is it something that you used to hit somebody over the head with? Or is it a favorite brand of beer? Aussies like their beer.
I'm gonna hedge my bets, and I'm gonna say it's a favorite brand of beer that you use to hit a lazy person over the head with.
That's a good answer. Believe it or not, you got part of it right.
I think it's I'm gonna say it's a lazy person.
And he
Correct.
got it right.
Hey.
Okay.
We'll
What's
have
a
one
dag?
more, but John, just briefly, John, can you try and reconnect, just refresh your browser? We've got no audio coming from you. So yeah, just refresh your browser, John. What is a dag?
A dag. Yeah. What is a dag? Is it a cigarette? Is it a sandwich? Or someone who's, I don't know, a bit of a nerd or geek? A cigarette?
I'm gonna
a
say
sandwich, or a nerd?
I think it's it couldn't be a sandwich. So
Or a
it
brand
would
of
have
beer.
to be or it would have to be it's definitely a nerd. It's definitely a nerd, yeah.
Congratulations, you got it.
Naturally,
See, I'm
it could be a sandwich. It could have been a Dagwood sandwich, but you're not old enough to know what that is. So that's age related.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You
Look,
got
we had
two out of the three. Pretty good.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being part of the show today. And do go and check out Adam's channel. We've got a link in the description to the video, and also Nightbot is going and putting it in the channel. Go and check it out. And Adam will stay inside the chat room. If you've got questions about flying with broken propellers or 3D printing in general, I'm sure he'll be around for a little while to say hi.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Greg. Thanks everybody for having me. It's great to be on here, and you guys have a good evening and good morning.
Absolutely. Now let's get back to Johnny over here. Now, John, can we hear you yet?
All right, am I still here?
You're still there.
I'm still
You're
here.
still there. I've got your audio
me?
back. Excellent. Yeah. I was panicking there because your audio was dead, and I'm thinking we're going to have a lot of dead air with me talking to myself, but I do that sometimes anyway. Let's go on with our next
you
story.
might have to continue. I might lose you.
We'll see how we go. Let's just play the next story anyway and see how we go. This one, the Barbados drone ban Flying drones in the Caribbean sounds like it would be of interest to many with their idyllic weather and stunning geography. However, Barbados drone regulations prohibit the import of drones and even spare parts. You can't import them. Existing licensed pilots can renew their licenses, but this ban is impacting their ability to maintain equipment in a safe manner. BUVA, the Barbados UAV Association, is advocating for reform to allow UAV markets to grow there, but more importantly, to ensure safety standards for existing aircraft. Can we just play the that clip there? Now, why wouldn't you want to fly your drone in a beautiful location like that, in a safe manner, of course? It's a beautiful, beautiful place to go flying, but unfortunately, they've said no, and it's going to become unsafe if you can't get parts to go and repair and maintain your equipment. Now, we've definitely lost John, I think. Or are you there? No, we've lost him.
I am still here, but the connection's so poor. Yeah.
Okay. Let's put Lloyd into the hot seat. We'll throw. You know what? Let's throw Adam over there. You can be our backup co-host for a little while since
sounds good.
Since you're still there. Okay. What do you think about the regulations in Barbados? I've put you on the spot now.
I'm not in favor of them. I can't speak as a Barbadosian, but I would say that generally less regulation is probably favorable in some instances.
Yeah, I'm just laughing at Lloyd on the other screen. He's cacking himself up at your Barbadosian comment, but look, let's keep it simple. If you can't buy spare parts, let's pretend it's not a drone and it's a manned aviation aircraft, and all of a sudden you couldn't buy parts for that, and the doors start falling off. You don't want to have that happening in the air. Yeah. That's exactly what Barbados's government is doing. They're saying you can't maintain your equipment. You can still fly it, but you can't maintain it. So that
is pretty crazy. And I'm assuming that would be you also can't manufacture your own equipment.
You can't even buy parts.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you could, something like 3D printing and stuff, you could 3D print some things, but you can't 3D print like a tail section. Well, you could, but it wouldn't be very practical. But that wouldn't be very good. Not safe.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at some of the, if you were to go and make an entire quad using 3D printed parts, then you've got to go and get your ESCs and you've got to get your motors and your batteries and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't know what the line is in their regulation, if they're actually saying you can't buy ESCs for the purpose of using them on a drone. Potentially, they may be saying
I would think that would just be sort of a stair step to just get rid of everything by saying like, well, you can fly what you have, but you can't have any more, knowing that you're going to break stuff and then eventually it'll all just kind of go away.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a few more stories. Looking skyward. Skyward has been, as it's a company, they've been providing a platform to manage operations for drone service providers for some time. With the recent increase in drone deliveries associated with COVID, Skyward has produced this video explaining more about what they can provide.
I'm Jess with SKYWARD, a Verizon company, and we build drone software and provide training and services to help commercial businesses fly drones. SKYWARD customers are using drones in so many unique ways, but now during this time of a global pandemic, they're finding even more ways to use them and getting more value out of drones.
I am Matt Dunleavy, and I am the President and Chief Executive Officer at Skyscopes. We are a professional drone service operator. Probably the most important and potentially effective use of UAS in response to COVID-19 is the ability to fly drones and spray disinfectants in target locations.
Now, I'm just going to pause the video there and come back to us for a moment. Now, in a nutshell, I'm not going to play the entire video because it's pretty long, but Skyward, the essentially what they're doing is trying to industrialize UAV service providers, and how can you put the governance and all of the things and the paperwork around what it is that you do. And John, I don't know if, I know you're still in the background there. I'd love to hear from you. Let's see, have we got him? Yeah, John, so Skyward, they're producing some software around industrial, oh no, it's not going to happen. Okay, not going to happen. They're producing some software around all of the paperwork you've got to do as a drone operator, doing all of the compliance and all of that kind of stuff for you. I think it's a great idea. There's a few others in the space. For example, I've been looking previously at air data. It's pulling a lot of the information down from your UAV, and also they've got a workflow around a lot of the battery maintenance. But just wanted to share that and encourage people to go and check that out from Verizon, the Skyward product. Moving on from that, because we won't comment on it too much more without John there. The next one we've got, this is a construction industry. Construction involves, of course, building infrastructure that's designed to last for a long time. Using a drone to capture the build process can help to document sound construction methods, which can later be used to protect construction companies in the future against claims. This video documents one cast-in-place construction project.
Hi, I'm Karen Massey with the California High-Speed Rail Authority. Let's go out to Tony Tinoco, who's been out at the Wasco Viaduct. Tony, I understand that they're putting a special safety wall in there?
That's right, Karen. A cast-in-place wall is being used to support the soil between high-speed rail tracks and BNSF. The wall is needed due to elevation differences between high-speed
I'll just turn the audio down a little bit, but you get the idea. They're building a safety wall, but the important thing is here, construction companies, another good use of drones to go and capture that during construction. So you've got something at the end of it that you can say, hey, this is how we built it. And if there's ever a problem with it in future, the construction companies can use that as primary evidence of how they did it.
It's happening.
Yeah, sounds reasonable to me.
Have you thought of that before? Is that something that you know is happening in your area?
Well, I suppose like a lot of different types of drone businesses involving drones. It's really kind of like, you know, ultimately the platform is the same. I mean, in terms of like you have a flying thing up in the air, what can we mount on it, and then what can we, you know, what images can we capture with it? So I don't think that I personally I don't know if they're doing that in this area in terms of like for that one purpose, but I thought of that. Documenting that type of thing. So I think from that perspective, that is interesting, and again another kind of a new use for that. So it is good to see that people are thinking that way. Yeah.
Just a quick side comment. The internet for John has been difficult today. It's also being difficult for me. I noticed the stream is a little bit unreliable, but we'll try and finish. We got 2 more news stories. Let's go with the second last one, the Liberation show in Rotterdam for Liberation Day. A drone show was organised on the evening of Liberation Day at the Erasmus Bridge in Rotterdam. The show also is designed to pay tribute to healthcare workers. Isn't it pretty?
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. And last one, this one I think is very, very cool. This is going to be a short show today because I can see that the internet is not going to hold out for us. This one here, the Passenger Drone Hotel. So EHang and LN Holdings want to make it a reality. Guests are going to have the opportunity to travel using EHang's iconic passenger drone for both transport and aerial tourism at the new hotel.
And its tactic name, autonomous aerial vehicle, of which China's company EHang is now
They didn't mix their audio very well there, unfortunately, and I didn't pick that up before we showed this, but she's certainly enjoying the size and scale of the drone there. Sounds like a lot of fun as well. Would you fly in those things? It's a famous question that someone else I know asks. Would you fly in one of those?
Would I personally?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. I don't really. I mean, good grief. I mean, I think it has enough motors. You know, if you lose 1 or 12, I think you'd still be okay. Yeah, I would definitely fly in one of those. I mean, I'd probably build one of them and fly in it. So
we got to get you in touch with some Aussies down under. Did you see the one with the fishing underneath the drone?
Oh yes, I did hear about that from XJet.
That was Tim.
RC Model Reviews. Yeah.
Well, he's talked about it, but Tim's the guy who actually did it together with another friend of his cousin. And we've had him on here before. It was a lot of fun, that one.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I think that the one that you showed there is a bit more sophisticated, but yeah, kind of same idea.
Would you, if you had the control in your hand, do the fishing? Would you get up in that one?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. It's because the thing is like it's the quadcopters like or multi-rotors. When everything's going great, it's great and everything's fine. But then if something doesn't go great, then it could be really, really bad. So it's just making sure that you have all those redundancies in place and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, because you don't want to get too complacent. But at the same time, I would feel probably safer in one of those than probably something like a reciprocating engine helicopter, I think, personally.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what we're going to do now. On the screen, we're going to get a shot with you and with Lloyd. The two shot. I'm just instructing my producer. We're going to put Lloyd in the left there. And I'm going to do something without notice. There we go. Let's change to that shot. This is something I saw on another channel earlier on in the week. And Lloyd has, you can look at each other. Here's something that I saw on another channel earlier this week. And it's a simple challenge. It's a simple challenge. Telling a joke to the other one and they're not allowed to laugh. But the other person, you said you had a joke ready before. So you've got to tell a joke to Lloyd.
Yeah, no, I lied about that.
You had a joke? You don't have a joke? Well, pick one anyway. Make one up now, very quickly. Right. And Lloyd is not allowed to laugh.
Okay.
Go.
So I hear that you go first. Oh, you laughed.
Lloyd, you laughed. You just lost a point.
Oh, that was set up.
Okay, Lloyd, you tell one. Go on.
I put my serious face on.
The only ones I can't tell the ones I've been telling here lately.
That was a smile, not a laugh. Try again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mind just went blank. So what's new, right?
I need my whole
Greg,
music.
Yeah, I know. Greg, you set me up, man. The thing was, I just told Greg a joke earlier, but I can't tell him that one. And the one I told him the other day, I can't tell either because they're both a little off color. Okay. And this is a family show. You set me up, Greg. Next time.
Well, I set both of you up. And the reason why I'm doing it is because we got through our content a little bit earlier than expected today. And I thought, it was something that I saw on another channel. Okay, here we go.
Tell me a joke.
Hang on. Wait, tell Alexa to be quiet.
A blazer.
What we're going to do is ask for a few of the people in chat to type in a joke.
Oh, that's a better idea, yeah.
And you guys, let's just say, Lloyd, you're not allowed to look at chat yet because I don't want you to see the punchline. You've got to react to the joke. Adam's going to tell the joke. Everyone in chat, go and type it in. And in fact,
come on, guys, give me something good.
How about the one from ZebMeat? Let's get the 2-shot up. Get Lloyd on the screen, ready to react. 2-shot, not 3-shot. There we go. Okay, you ready, Adam? Tell the one. You've got to tell the one from ZebMeat.
I am. Okay. All right. My wife made a meal so bad last night that the dishwasher puked. Is he frozen or is he just not laughing? I can't tell.
I was thinking that as well. He did very good to stay still. Okay. Adam, you're not allowed to look at the chat for a couple of minutes. Someone else help Lloyd with a good joke.
All right. Okay.
Someone else. What do we got here?
Okay.
There we go. We got one from Agent K.
Where did Noah keep a record of his bees? In the archives.
This was better when
Yes,
I watched it on another channel. This was better. I watched this on another channel.
Well, as I said earlier, we endeavor to provide top quality information and entertainment. We don't usually fail, but if we do, it's all the fault of Wirecrash and Australian NBN. And it's all free of charge. You guys are getting what you pay for.
Yeah,
So
okay.
true. So true.
Yeah. Anyway. Lloyd, tell the one I told you about waiting in line. There you go. There's a request from 400 AGL. Let's get back to the 2-shot one more time.
Okay. So this young man is wanting to take this young lady out to the prom. And he realizes that he's going to have to get a suit. So he goes to rent a tuxedo or get a nice suit, and he has to stand in line, but she's really worth it. So then he decides he should take her out somewhere nice, someplace nice to eat before the prom. So they go to a restaurant and they have to wait in line. They finally get there and they want to have their pictures taken. And of course, there's a long line, so they still want the picture taken, so they have to wait in line. Finally, they get there, sit down, and he says, "Would you like some punch?" And she says, "Oh, please." So he goes up there, and there's no punchline.
I see how that works.
Okay. Now, just stay on that shot. Stay on that shot for one more minute, and I'll ask you to do this. Read. You don't have to tell this one. Read the joke from ZebMeat in the chat and try and keep a straight face. Don't read it out loud. Just read it.
Okay.
The last post from ZebMeat. Okay. It had the it had the desired effect.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a lot better than what I could come up with. So
okay.
Wow.
We'll leave it there for today. It was fun having a little bit of a laugh at the end of the show. Thank you for being with us, Adam. Thanks for being our
absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Instant fill-in co-host after John's internet crapped out. My internet was crapping out
this time.
Well, I deliberately said I'm going to do something different, so that's why I did it. But let's do a couple of community service announcements. By the way, I've got a request to all of our regulars for next week. When we have the show next time, I want you to go to something other than YouTube in another window and open up the chat. So we're live on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, DLive, Smashcast, and Mixer each and every week, but we focus on the chat and the YouTube. Did I say Facebook? I think I did. So go into
Yeah,
one
you
of those
started out.
next week. Go into one of those next week and help out by getting some of those comments and sharing them back into the main channel. That'd be really helpful. So that's that one. And speaking of all of these kind of things, if you've got a viewer video that you want to share with us, send it to upload@gregkuhnert.com. You could help us out by following us on some of our various social media platforms at OzByDrone, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, and all of the rest of them. It's the same kind of thing. If you've got anything you'd like to send physically, send it to 5/127 Princess Highway, Sylvania, New South Wales, 222 Australia. I think that's all I've got to say. Lloyd, any last comments from you?
Maybe I should have told the joke this way.
Okay.
Oh, man.
That's all we've got time for. I'll see you next time. Thanks. That's all we've got time for. You've been watching OzByDrone and Comic Relief. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.